our usual weekly segment now. Sort of got very little time today, so I just chucked it on and can quickly organise myself and get straight into the build. But it's going to take us a tad to get a couple of people into the room. I will need to make a couple of posts on social media. Finally back on Facebook, so promotion's a thing. Doing a little Gundam and other scale modelling stream for the next hour and a half. Come in and feel free to ask questions or request demonstrations or request them on ST demonstrations. Chuck the link and post. Done and done. Oh, she's getting a bit hot. I hope it doesn't thermo, or otherwise we're in trouble. And done. Come on. Doesn't want to post for some reason. Well, let's do a sound check, and then we can finally start. Hello. Okay, so we've definitely got sound, and we've got post. Beautiful. We are all ready to rock and roll hard. I just need to keep an eye on the chat. And we are on an excellent start. Fantastic. So what we did last time was we assembled our gold shiny, slightly weathered Providence Gundam. Need to do some decals and a tad more penciling work to highlight certain bits and pieces, and then that can move on. So it is looking very, very, very interesting as something that's that shiny that's rolling around in space is meant to look. What we're going to play with right now is this. Now, the leg is not in solidly. It came off from the last time we streamed while playing with the Victory Gundam, and we applied it with PVA glue. It has not made a strong bond at all, but the bond is extremely tight. So that is working to our advantage. We can put a bit more glue in, and it's going to be in there solid. So what we shall do is glue the other end in. And the arms we can't really do. The head I don't really want to do. Or the head we can do. We'll do the arms and the head. Or we'll do the one leg and the head. And next time we can put the feet on and we can start putting the arms on. It's going to need a little bit of PVA glue. We're at the tail end life of this tube, so it's all gunked out and not behaving itself too well. I'll just open it up. Keep that closed. Just pour it in. Oops, that's too much. That's all right. And we need a cotton bud. Definitely going to need to buy more glue. So again, since we're doing the other side, I've got my doubts that this is going to stick. And the stream seems to be a bit on the laggy side. I hope it's the feedback and the computer. This computer really doesn't like to watch Twitch for some reason. And not so much the end where I'm actually playing. There we go. So we're completely loaded up with PVA. And there you go. It just balances right. Put a couple of chocks in, which are the feet. Everything's well dried and lacquer based, so it's not going to be too much problems. Reload that. And we'll keep that closed. Providence, I don't want to do too much work on. We need to do some deckling. So we actually are going to do some deckling. So we are going to do work. I completely lied about that. We need to select his decals, and maybe tonight or later we can use said decals. Got to cut some sandpaper for polishing work, and we'll put that on the edge of the laptop. That's 1500. We need to get some of the stuff that I've imported in from Germany. I'll put that there just so it looks like I'm doing something. Good, my expensive sandpaper. So I've lost my little pieces. Is some 2000 and some 300 would not come skewed. $3.20. So we've got all the different shades we need. Cut them up. Get ourselves a little sanding water. And away we go. The airbrush slightly misbehaved, and we've got a bit of a texture as well as a frost and a bit of a weird glow. So we put an ultra thick coat of clear, and that didn't work out too well. So we're going to remove it. It's going to be flat and beautiful. So where did I put my pen? So we got 2K, 2K. So we know what we're messing with. This is 1.5K. $1.5K, 1.5K. So I've done enough videos and stuff where paint is recovered and rescued. That's not too much of a big deal. And some cold tea action going on. $3.20. These can go away. And now we've got the good stuff. Definitely need to buy more of this sandpaper. It works so well. I've got a ton of it. I'm thinking about selling some because it's an amazing product. Oh, that's 7,000. It's 5,000. That's 3,000. Uh, 7K. 7K. 5K. 5K. Sorting your sandpaper is very important. Oh, there should be some more sandpaper in here. Ah, blow it, doesn't matter. 3K. 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 So that'd be more than enough to polish everything we need nicely and put a proper clear coat on when my airbrush is not spegging out. So this does not look great at all. Trust me on that. We got build up and sediment and all sorts of weird things. I was experimenting with a retardant and it went very poorly, and I did it on a model, so I got a good result initially. Tried it on this one and it just ended up in tears. Truth be told, I was actually quite upset about it. Stream health is just going atrociously bad. I just can't get a good scream of it. So we're just going to rough up the surface slightly with this one. Any raised detail is going to be nice and flat, 320. No pressure is going to be applied whatsoever, except for this bit because it is very rough. And as you can see, as we're sanding back, we're going into its original color, which is exactly what we want. Everything feels so matte. I did not apply matte. It was actually a gloss clear that was reacting really, really badly. Okay. And I suppose paint repairing is not the most exciting thing, but trust me, it is stressful. So I did a little hand touch up here, and doing it up with rough sandpaper is ideal because we get those raised paint strokes and we make it flat. And then afterwards, even though if there's a little bit of white left on it, we sand it back, we apply a gloss coat, and the colors are going to come out quite vibrant. It originally came out all white, sort of like the little join we got in there, but a little bit of gloss, and that actually cleared up nicely. So we'll get to the edges. Most of the edges are pretty good, but the other half of the edges is atrocious. And that's where the airbrush was really, really struggling. This is nothing that we can't touch up on. So again, this is 320 grit sandpaper. We're going very light, and we're just pretty much smoothing out the surface, getting rid of any raised detail. We're applying virtually no force whatsoever, and we're doing it wet. So the debris is sort of just washing straight off, and we're not getting any problems whatsoever on our painted base. I did an experiment. The experiment was a complete and utter disaster. Pretty embarrassed I didn't do it on the test piece. I was pretty confident after doing an initial tiny test. It worked really well, and the whole thing just went to shite. Though this is, it's going to be time consuming, though it's completely salvageable and repairable. I was using an automotive, a car automotive clear, which is giving me good results, and a retardant, and the two was just clearly not compatible with each other. So I'm going to have to cut my losses off, throw the retardant out, and just continue using the more expensive stuff. But hey, if you don't try, you do not know. So that is done. That's enough with that. And we're going straight to the polishing stuff. And we could definitely apply some pressure. Though this is still a bit rough. Might need to go over with it again with the 300. We'll see how we go. We'll just keep polishing, and if it doesn't feel right, we can go up a step, down a step, up a step until everything starts working. I probably should just strip it and start spraying from scratch. I think I could save it. Yeah. The paint is pretty thick. I did a few layers. All we have to do is just remove the layer that is the complete failure. I just don't know where all of this white gritty crap has come from. That is a complete mystery how that even forms. Has to have come from the retardant, though. I can't see how something that dries slow has turned into clumps and turned to white. Absolute mystery to me, and I'm not keen on repeating the experiment to find out exactly why. That was a complete disaster. Might need to touch up the black in there because it's turned red a bit. Okay. Up here a bit. There's something weird going on along here. So I'm going to give it a bit more sanding to see whatever that weird layer is can be removed, touched up, and remain thin. Okay, that weirdness is almost gone. Oh yeah, the weird texturing is finally layering off. You have to be patient. Instead of going heavy and doing it in a few slides, going really light and multiple slides will give the best results. It's just hard to tell when you're removing too much and you're going through the layer of paint or clear or whatever you're doing. Obviously, I haven't cut enough of it away. And yeah, I'm starting to get the vibrant colors coming back. Use a tissue to wipe back the debris and whatnot. I'll have a look. Yeah, I could see where it's cutting. Where we've got the goodness and where we still have our hard to reach troubles. And I might have to do another clear coat and a round of sanding if this is really troublesome. There's all sorts of weird holes and lumps, and I can't believe a couple of layers of clear has caused this much havoc. Absolutely insane to me. Okay, what I'll do is I'll actually roll it a bit. And we can attack the inside. Whoa, that is lifting whatever that is in a very strange fashion. Don't like how it did that. It's almost like it's not even adhering well to the surface and it's just flaking off. That's crazy. We'll give the black a bit of love. So that's pretty frosty. Very lightly on the edges. Obviously, this edge definitely needs some love. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to feel smooth. And once we've got it polished, even if there's a little bit of white here and there, we'll give it a clear and we see if that clear dissolves it away. So that's how you normally get rid of weird matte issues. Okay, and that little funny crevice. I think I'm going to be sanding for the whole stream, which is going to be tragic. Not quite. I want to do a touch of weathering on a tank. Put some oil wash on it. So when that dries, the next session I can do other forms of weathering and top coats and just have that on the go. Alright, so we've got a bit of a edge here of a white buildup. Sand around the hole, get rid of that gunk. A little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. Refresh the monitor. And we are surprisingly still on 300 grit. That's alright. I'm hoping tonight I can put a coat and have a look again on Sunday and sand it further. Okay, starting to be some significant improvements. So the cutting is definitely working. A lot to cut, but she is working. Look at that. Slowly wearing down. And then we'll polish the last of it out. Beautiful. Alright, that's pretty thick there. So we'll definitely give it some attention, and it's worn out. Slightest faint amount there. The polish can work that out. And then the clear coat. And then we'll just play it by ear from there. But yeah, it just freaked me out when it went all matte. I will never do that again. Don't mess with the clear coat. Okay, that's good. And then this here, that's crazy. That's when I was doing tests to see if I could remove whatever was causing the issue. Alright, that's wearing down. So if it's fused with the paint, then that's going to be some really delicate work. So I just think it's a bit thicker on this side, the clear coat. Yeah, as I thought. Now it's disappearing. Cool. I need to do a little bit more love in there. I'm going to break a small amount of tape so we could fit in there and not cause too much damage on the original paintwork. They get rid of all of this crap. Man, this is a disaster. You can tell that I'm definitely not enjoying this process. Probably why I put this stream off for so long. No time, quite tired. I got my work load increased over Easter. And a little bit of modelling I got to do. Repairing this bloody base. I suppose I'll do this for half an hour longer. Shit. It doesn't wear off evenly. That's the problem. Okay. I'm doing an initial scraping to just get the gunk off the sides. And I think this will need a pretty sturdy soak in some water. sanding here. More sanding here. And then we can get into some polishing. Okay. If we can at least make the black in here flat, I could just repaint it. That's not an issue. This gunk is crazy. Okay. White back. That's ugly. That's so ugly. Bloody hell. A little more sanding. So hopefully it will just even itself out. So that's what it did. The other pieces where I only had a couple of coats of it, when lacquer clear was applied, it actually equaled and flattened itself out. Oh, there we go. Now we've got some action going on here. It's absolutely getting shredded. Actually, huge chunks of this stuff lifting up like it's polyurethane or some crap. Okay, so that's a bit of a sharp corner. Put a fresh bit of tape in there. Alright, I think that is actually starting to come together. Damage the paintwork slightly, but it can be fixed as long as it's not lumpy and strange. Get some fresh TP. Okay, I'm gonna go polishing, and then hit it with a clear, and then try it again another day, because this is just impossible. It's at least smoother, and I'm hoping the last of this frost stuff, just like on the model, it just clears up. Since we removed a large percentage of it, and that strange red tint is gone from the black. That's bloody good news. And being a finer sandpaper, a little more force can be applied. And here we go. Progress is being made. It's just so slow as not to provide too much damage. Or at least if there is any damage, which there has been damage, I can actually repair it quite easily with a fine tip brush, paint, and clear. Alright, give this corner a bit of love. Oh, I'm really killing the sandpaper. Okay, wipe it back a bit so we're not actually just forcing that crap into things. That fogged up further for some reason, no idea why. It's looking uglier, but the truth is it's actually a bit on the improve. Now, utilising a toothpick, there are these little gunk build up because the sandpaper is just forcing it in there. And the tip of the toothpick isn't sharp enough to actually scratch through the paint. I use it for masking and stuff. We're able to scratch it off and wipe it. Oh, there we go. That's what I needed to see. Look at it. The build-up is just thick. I just can't believe it applied perfectly smooth, glossy, nice on the surface, and then overnight it just turns into this crap. You just never know with paint. It is a risk in formulating and whatnot. That's probably crap too. There we go. In between here. Beautiful. Get rid of that crap. Oh yeah, that's where the moneymaker is. Actually going down to original lacquer. I'm going to quickly rinse this underwater. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. What the hell happened? Freeze. The things just ended. So back in a couple of seconds. Alright, need to go back to harder sandpaper, which is completely worn to shit. We'll cut ourselves a fresh bit. And we'll do a really thin strip too. and we can just keep replacing it. There we go. Okay, so it's gunking up the sandpaper pretty quickly. Okay, there we go. There's a bit of love in here. Yeah, that's the stuff. We'll have to touch up this light blue again, which is pretty much what started this whole problem. Going back to square one to where we were 2 weeks ago with the base, but that's alright. And she's frozen again. Oh well. Bit more. This is just crazy. Hello viewer, welcome to the stream. We've kind of had a bit of a disaster doing a clear coat on our base, and I have to sand it back and clear it. It was a mixture of lac clear and retardant, though the retardant did not react too well. It got a bit thick on this side, not so thick on this side, and it just turned into this strange goop that we're trying to lift off through sandpaper. And they're gone. Okay. I think at this stage, even though I'm not going to use the finer sandpaper, I'm going to polish it up with 2000. Once I've got the surface feeling pretty flat, I'm going to put a clear on it and see what happens. Because a fair amount of the material has been removed for it to wield a half decent result. Especially on this black bit that just had that whole clear yellow removed. Okay, some more love on the blue. But we shall do that when I come back, because I'll be going out for a few hours. Chuck some lacquer on it. Only one coat. And hope for the best. Oh, need to do a bit more roughing up in the black there. Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's weird. Bit of the piece that broke off the Providence last week landed inside of there. Bit of gunk. Whew. Alright. So, be on stream for half an hour longer. And then I'll need to go off to go do stuff. Wasn't too much of an interesting stream. I don't think I will be... Ooh, we're sending back to paint. That fucking sucks. That means more touching up. If it starts to go too pear-shaped, I'm just going to have to spray it again and strip all of it off. That's just going to suck so bad. But that is what it is. Go up to 2000. Rinse. Dry. And see what happens. Do the edge. Oh no, this is not turning out good. I'm not too happy about that. Yeah, I think it's kind of ruined. Well, we'll go do a test piece. I reckon that would be the best way to do it. I'll go wash this, dry this. We'll do a tiny test corner. If it looks good, it's salvageable. If it's not, then it's strippable. So we'll come back and we'll look into that. If it's strippable, it's strippable. I'll just have to spend a day or so remasking it all up. Okay, we are back. We'll give everything a quick wipe down. We tried. That was the most important thing. Man, this is looking crazy. It did look a lot worse than this and the other pieces when I tried to save it. So, we'll do a test. And we'll just pray that the test is going to result in a good response. It's got a mini compressor. Now, Sparmax airbrush. Oh no. Fuck. Plastic spoon's gone missing. No, there it is. Not the same spoon I've used, but that's alright. Don't think I'm going to use this jar. I'm going to chuck this jar out because it's got that weird coating. Didn't put nothing away the other time, so a bit embarrassed running around looking for things and just anything that works while on the stream. Well, that works right. There's a big thing of automotive clear. I'm going to spoon it in a smaller jar. Look how clear that is. You can see right down to the bottom. Glorious leader of the stuff. So we're only going to fill it up a third, and then we'll give the rest of it a lacquer thinner. So the stuff is really thick, and that's what the actual manufacturing instructions recommend. So that's good. Wipe the sides in case there's any spillage. People can't say you can't use too strong lacquers or industrial lacquers or car lacquers. This is industrial lacquer. And even though mixing it has resulted in a poor result here, the beautiful thing about this paint is it's also salvageable, unlike other types of paint. Then open the door and put a mask on. Woke up the poor dog. Okay, I need to mix it up a bit. Use a toothpick so it's not contaminated. Mix it really good so it's equally thinner and clear coat. I'm still slightly crazed. Mix, 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 mix until surface tension looks good. Give it a bit of a shake as well. Now this isn't a full spray, we're just only going to do a corner and have a study. Let's have a look. Yeah, beautifully mixed. Now for the test. It's about the consistency of maple syrup. It's a bit too thick. Need more thinner. And this takes for bloody ever to mix. Load her up. Now looking good. Okay. Something a bit funny happened. That's alright. Right. Alright, something's happened. Jesus Christ, having such a bad hobby day. Oh shit, what the fuck? Huh? This is not right. There we go. Spray it, see what happens. Oh, it's retaining white. It appears to be melting away, but it's still pretty present. Alright, it's out of paint. It did spill a little bit. the fuck? Where did this bit just fell off. It's a very old airbrush. So it rattles a bit and it loses bits and pieces. Alright, it seems to somewhat work. It's going to need another sanding session. But I can see this working. Now for the affected bit. Alright, ran out again. Fuck! This airbrush just doesn't sit in there properly. Jesus fucking Christ. Christ sakes. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, Doesn't matter. Okay. Alright. So, a lot of it cleared up. Some of it hasn't. There's going to be some touch up. There's going to be more sanding and another clear. Though at this stage, it's pretty much salvable. Where it's not too bad, it's cleared up. There's a little gunk on the sides that can be sanded. That side needs a major sanding and touch up. And the middle needs a respray. But it's somehow cleared up. We just need to see what it looks like when it dries. And that will inform us if it's worth it or not. I'll flush out the airbrush twice. And then I'll just chuck a wash on my tank, call it quits. You spray a bit of thinner on the clear to help self-level it so it doesn't dry as quick. It is a bit on the quick drying side of things. There we go. That's actually looking really good on camera. Seriously, this is probably salvageable at this stage. Doesn't look too bad at all. There you go. I've done something, didn't I? So much more work to do though. It's not very encouraging. Oh well, that's the airbrushing side of things done. When I come back, I'm going to be very keen to look at it and see if it's all fucked up or not. It still looks like shit, though it's a huge improvement from the last time I looked at it, and it doesn't have all that cloudy shit and white shit and all that. I think one more sanding, touch up, and that should do the trick. A few clear coats and I can finally decal this bastard. God, I hate this base. I hate this base so much. But it is what it is. I don't think I'll be saving this video because maybe I should. Nah, fuck it. Oh man. I made a mess. There we go. Put that away. Take that away. Take that away. Move these two. Put that there. Piss this base off. Alright, there we got that. Um, this will be a quick job. Mix this up, chuck it on the tank, and stream is over. So a bit of that. Bit of this. Mix her up. So enamel thinner, Tamir, Line accent thinner. Consistency looks good. Let's do a bit of a test on a test piece. It's a bit thick. I'll finish the panel. Just so I could wipe it back and it will look fairly universal. There was a bit of enamel left on my brush, so it just mixed the tiniest tint of red into it, which I kind of like it. Though it shouldn't be noticeable when it's just only in the panels. Wipe it back. And I think I'll just add the slightest bit more thinner. Another test piece. Somewhere underneath. Yes. Perfect. Now that is a good consistency. Bit into the trucks. Bit more into the trucks. And the track wells, the wheels. When this tank's done, we'll probably paint the small Imperial Japanese one. There we go. Wipe it back a bit. And that is the perfect consistency of a sludge wash. Do the top, the sides, and the other side. A little bit of a whisk. There you go. That is... Just get it a bit strong there. That's perfect. It's exactly what we want. And we'll wipe it out, because it's practically almost all thinner and the tiniest amount of paint. And that pretty much concludes our probably worst or most disastrous stream ever. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you guys again, hopefully a lot more positive. See ya.